Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to Gramarye 2022. My name is Brett and I'm going to be talking about EGA today. It's a bit of a sister style to EGL. It's a little bit more vampire-y, but we're going to be talking about what it is, where to buy it, how to wear it, ways to play with it. And the good news is if you're already in EGL, then you have a really good jumping off point because there's a ton of overlap in the kinds of garments you can use to make an EGA outfit. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you. Oh, I can add. This is new. Sorry, I'm so excited. I can add slides from into StreamYard. I didn't know I could do this. I'm just used to sharing my screen. Look at this. This is so easy. Thank you, everybody. Should be quick. I'm so sorry. This is new. I was just going to share my screen and do it the old-fashioned way, and it's processing my slide deck that is full of pictures. So, anyway, I hope everyone's having a good day so far. This is the opening panel for day 2 of Gramarye. Later this morning, I'm going to be presenting. Ooh, it's ready. Yeah, I haven't used StreamYard in like a year either. But later this morning, I'm going to be presenting a panel on wearing EGL in the cold. So if you're interested, stick around for that. But without it says coats wait coats. If you're interested, stick around for that. And but now we're going to get started talking about elegant Gothic Lolita aristocrat vampire romance, which will be explained. I'm tired of coming up with titles. That's not true. My brain is just scrambled, so this is the title I came up with. Let's begin. Wait, there we go. That's how I go to the next slide. Okay, so here's just a little bit of a table of contents, what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to talk about some history of the style and kind of how it originated. Next, we're going to talk about what the aesthetic elements are. So kind of like these components that make the style what it is, and how to capture those. And then going on to section number 3, now that we've kind of captured what those elements are, we're going to talk about what these garments are to actually like put together a coordinate. Step 4, oh, these are misnumbered. We're going to talk about the brands, some brands and designers and artists that make pieces that go with EGA stuff. And then number 4 again, it's how to wear it. So maybe like themes you can do, different ways to kind of play with it, and make it your own. So let's start with an introduction. My name is Brett. I've been wearing EGA, EGL for 11 years now. I am originally from the San Francisco community. I lived in San Jose for a very long time. And now I live in Vermont. So I get to haunt the woods here. And it's wonderful. And so I'm really glad I still get to stay in touch with my community in San Francisco. So let's start with some background on EGA. So what is EGA? So it stands for Elegant Gothic Aristocrat. It's kind of like a grown-up version of EGL. So, you think of maybe things like longer hemlines, a little bit less, I love it too, a little bit less playful. Mature is the word that gets thrown around, or grown up. And I feel like it's just kind of a little bit less playful. There is a lot of aesthetic overlap with EGL. There's a lot of garment overlap too that we're going to talk about. It's heavily inspired by garments from the 19th century European aristocracy, which we will get into some specifics about. EGA can be very androgynous, which is really fun. So there's kind of these extremes where you can have these like really feminine silhouettes with like this nipped in corseted waistline, or you can be a blob and it's awesome and it's cozy. And you can go totally androgynous. And the EGA term was coined by Mana, who many of us know as the designer for Moi Même Moitié. But we're gonna talk about him. Whomst is Mana. So Mana was originally a visual kei guitarist in a couple of different bands, and he created the EGA EGL brand Moi Même Moitié, and he kind of really helped popularize the styles. And the elegant Gothic Lolita aristocrat vampire romance slogan comes from the hems of some skirts from the brand that just read that around the border. It just said elegant Gothic Lolita aristocrat vampire romance. I should have included a photo of that. But it's just kind of a thing now. So let's talk about some aesthetic elements of what EGA is. So one of the big elements is its historical inspiration. So mostly 19th century, although this is something you can totally play with. Um, 19th century Western Europe, to be specific. Again, though, you can totally play with this. Like you can play with regionality, you can play with time period, but the kind of core of it is that time and place. So it's really known for its antique aesthetic, and just it looks historical. It looks historical without necessarily looking like accurate historical pieces, right? So if you think of, maybe someone who's doing historical interpretation or history bounding potentially, it's going to look a little bit different than that, because it is romanticized. So it's kind of a romanticized interpretation, excuse me, of that, excuse me, of that time and place in history. So it is very similar to EGL in that way, although EGA has kind of a different interpretation of a similar era, or even like of the same era in some cases with EGL. So the silhouette, there's a few different ways you can do it. So commonly seen are long trousers, ankle length skirts. The skirts can either be like a really full silhouette, or they can be mermaid, really fitted. EGA features many clean lines, so there's a lot of like really clean tailoring, especially with certain brands that we'll talk about. There's often a nipped in waist, like a very clear silhouette. Again, though, there are a lot of cases in which you're just kind of a blob, or there's cases in which things are like frilly and chiffony, but these are just kind of defined features of the style that one can play with. So the materials are something that set it apart as well. So often they attempt to be very decadent and very sophisticated. So garments will often use, suiting, like really nice suiting, velvet, chiffon, jacquard. And so the focus is usually a little understated, or where the material is often a little understated. And by that, I mean, like, you're not necessarily, you can, but not necessarily going to see a bunch of border prints and really like vivid colors and stuff like that. It's the usually emphasized on the quality. And so the garment itself, the like construction of the garment itself is usually kind of what shines through. So for example, a lot of EGA brands will, for example, put like pockets in their garments, and they'll have these, maybe pin tucks and ruffles and like these really beautiful details in the construction of the garment. Or you can see there in the example on the right, there's like this big collar, and like the beautiful cuffs on the sleeves. And there's, the way that the fabric is cut creates this really beautiful drape. So that is often, so it's less about being super loud with the, the colors or the prints on the material, and more about the quality of the material itself and the construction of the garment. So is there overlap with EGL? And the answer is absolutely. So I stole this image from Butt Cape, and if you, I will send these slides out, and you can click on the link and go to Butt Cape's blog, or just look it up. There's a ton, like that blog is a deep well of resources for really awesome stuff. And the answer to is there overlap with EGLs? Yeah, it's kind of a continuum. So you could actually have an outfit. It's EGA is very much not like a style that is quantified with hard and fast rules. I don't even think EGL is either, but that's kind of a topic for another day. Although we often do treat EGL as like, does it meet these exact criteria? Then it is EGL. EGA has no bearing in that regard. It is a vibe. It's a feeling. You don't really quantify it the same way that people often quantify EGL. Which is great. There's tons of room to play with the style. There's tons of room to make it your own and to interpret it how you want. So let's talk about garments. I'm looking at the comments. If I have no headdress or a less Lolita one, I just say yeah, totally. Garments, bottoms. Okay, so let's talk about skirts and trousers. So the skirts can be really full, or they can be very fitted. The full ones are often, you know, long. All the skirts are often longer. Um, Skirts, often you'll see a silhouette with a hustle in the back. So for example, Shiglet sells a petticoat that is, you know, it's longer, it's about T length and it's very full, but in the back there's this kind of very defined like bustle shape. Trousers are typically a straight leg fit, although that's totally something you can play with. If I wear trousers, I often just wear like fitted pants, and I think it looks great. I have an example of a coordinate with that. Ew, pants! I have an example of a coordinate with like a very EGA coordinate with like fitted pants later on in the presentation. Typically, you'll find brands creating trousers that have like a straight leg fit, but you know, that is totally something you can play with. So here's some examples. So on the left, we have this example from Alice and the Pirates. There's, you know, that very straight leg fit, kind of a high waist. In the middle, we have this dress, this OP from Boz, and it's this fuller kind of A-line-ish skirt. That's something that would require a longer petticoat. And it's not super poofy, right? Like it is a very full skirt, but it's not like a poof monster. It's kind of a subdued shape in a way. And then on the far right, we have an example of another Boz piece, and this is a mermaid skirt. I own this one and I love it, and I recommend it. It's really fun to wear. It's fun to have a different silhouette. I like this one in particular because it's fitted, but then the bottom has those like really cool, oh my God, what is the word I'm looking for? Loading. I don't know. Anyway, you can walk in it, right? Like it's not a skirt where you have to like, you can totally walk in this skirt. So let's talk about corsets and bustiers. So corsets are often used as outerwear in EGA as they are in EGL. They can be overbust or underbust. You can wear them as underwear as well, but there are some really beautiful decorative corsets that look really gorgeous on the outside of a coordinate. And bustiers, so it's kind of like a separate bodice if you're not familiar with what they are. They're often boned. So the one on the left has what I assume are plastic bones in it. Many of the EGA corsets that are sold are often like steel boned. They're very beautiful. So bodices are really fun, or like the bustiers are fun because you can like put a skirt on, like a blouse, and you're like, this looks good, but like I need something extra. And you throw like a bustier on top. It looks awesome. It's a little bit of extra like decoration, and it looks really nice, and they're super fun to use. So here's some examples on the left. There's another example from Alice and the Pirates. There's this really beautiful, like, I would say this is more of a bustier because it's not providing any like necessary like shape modification to your body. I've never myself encountered a piece from Alice and the Pirates that is steel bone, so I'm gonna say this is a little bit more of a bustier, but it's very beautiful. You can see there's all kinds of ribbon detailing along either side of that, and there's this gold zipper that's I love the gold zipper. In the middle, we have a corset from a Biotage. Excuse me, I think this was a leather corset. I don't know, but it's gorgeous. I want it. They don't sell their corsets very often anymore, and I really want one. And then on the right, there's an example from Shiglet, which is it's not quite a corset, it's not quite a bustier, it's like a waist belt thing, but it's got like this really cool panel of lace around it. I own either that one or one that's very similar, and it's like you can throw it on top of something and it like totally changes the look of your outfit. It's really fun. So let's talk about outerwear. So long line coats are very common. So not only things that cover where an EGL skirt would fall, but things that are even longer potentially. EGA is very known for the Roland coat. People wear this coat in EGL as well. The Roland coat is the one in the middle on the left-hand side. So it's the jacket with it is gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love it. It comes in a bunch of different fabrics. So most recently they've revived it in the standard suiting. You'll see blazers, you'll see waistcoats, you'll see cloaks. Again, the cloaks may be kind of EGL skirt length, or they may be very long. You can totally find all kinds of stuff, and it's very fun to layer it. So let's talk about blouses. So high collars are common, but they're not, you know, you don't have to wear one. There's a ton of overlap with EGL. Oh no, someone got auto modded. I'm sorry. um, There's a ton of overlap with EGL blouses. So if you have, EGL blouses that are, kind of in, black or like another kind of subdued color, that's totally gonna work. Generally, I would say just avoid Peter Pan collars, but like that's totally not a hard and fast rule. Like you can put together an EG outfit that has a Peter Pan collar. Um, yeah, no, like there's totally no rules there. It's just kind of a common theme to see high collars. You may see so the abiatage one on the left has kind of both, right? Like it's kind of a high necked blouse, but it also has this like big square neckline with the use of the mesh there, which is really fun. So the square neck is also very common in EGA. So here's some examples. On the left, there's one from Atelier Pierrot, and it's this really fun, stretchy, chiffon-y blouse, and it has these big princess sleeves, and it's awesome. You can wear the collar off the shoulder, or you can wear it as it is on the dress form there. That one's super versatile. They keep that one in stock almost all the time, I would say, and that one comes in many different colors as well. Next to that one on the right, there's a blouse from Innocent World. I wanted to include a blouse from a very like EGL brand just to demonstrate that you can totally use EGL blouses to do EGA things. This blouse has like kind of a boat neck and 3/4 sleeves, and it has these really beautiful pearl buttons down the front. And then to the right of that is this lace blouse from Alice and the Pirates. This is another princess sleeve offering, which is really fun, and I love the square neck, and I'm such a huge fan of the crisscross straps that come there. And then to the right of that, this is a blouse from Shiglet, and it has this like interesting sweetheart-esque neckline construction and these long sleeves with the cuffs and the fringe or the frill at the bottom of the sleeves, which is super fun. That one is cool because it has such a beautiful shape on its own and such a beautiful bottom hemline that you can wear that one. If you're going to wear it with a skirt, you don't necessarily have to tuck it in. I usually do, but that one would look great, untucked over a skirt. Footwear. So there's a lot of overlap with classic and Gothic EGL footwear. So, you can kind of go from anything to like these, wild J-Rock platform heels to historical footwear. EGA also lends itself very well to like normie footwear. I have a lot of like boots and shoes I've gotten at like very normie places. And it looks great. I typically tend to go for a pointed toe. To kind of give it a little bit more vampire spooky edge, but that is again totally up to you, totally up to the wearer. Where did the rest of my examples go? Okay, well, there's supposed to be more pictures here. But on the right, you can see there's an example of these Julie A. Justine heels, which they have these like really fun, like coffee table leg-esque heels. And they're these, very shiny. It's this shiny material, and the straps are beautiful. Like they're almost reminiscent of like point shoes in a way. With this, I love the heel on those shoes. Alice and the Pirates makes a very similar heeled shoe. They release it. I don't know. I want to say they release something like that every year. But I don't know. You can see them on Mercari and stuff every now and then. Super fun. I love it. I will show some examples later in the presentation of of like some like very like normie shoe worked into a EGA cord as well. So let's talk about headwear. So full-size hats are something that used to set EGA apart from EGL. So back in the day, that was kind of like, I wouldn't say a no-no with EGL, but like you just didn't see it done very often. So people in EGL were wearing things that were a little bit more playful, or they were just not really wearing any hats particularly then. And by then, I mean, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. It's not that it was like a rule that you couldn't do it. It wasn't really common. So this used to be something that set EGA apart, where, full-size hats were very common. You can wear a veil, you can wear flowers, you can do nothing. You can have a naked head, because EGA is not about anything. There are really no rules of EGA. And you can kind of do whatever you want. Today I'm wearing a beret from Alice and the Pirates, and it's this like furry beret with a bunch of pearls on it. Let me see if I can show that without it falling off my head. I have it like very precariously perched. You can kind of do whatever you want. It's fun. It's good stuff. So here are some more examples. There's on the left, there's a hat, like this octagonal hat from, I think the way you say this brand is Ufu. It's just, it looks a little woolly to me. I've never seen this in person, but it looks woolly. There's some flowers and ribbons on it. It's super cute. Love it. To the right of that is it's a headband with like a big flower corsage and a big veil around the back. This one's from Piero. I have this one. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite headdresses that I own. It's super dramatic and fun. To the right of that is a little like corsage style headdress from Antique Beast. And to the right of that is more Antique Beast. And this is another piece that I own and I love it. It's a velvet bonnet. It's a little bit more subdued. It's not quite the like satellite dish style triple fortune bonnet that one might see with some over the top EGL coordinates. This one's a little bit more subdued, I suppose. This one is fun and easy to wear. I'm a huge fan. So let's talk about some EGA brands. So the first one is Moitié. This is kind of the brand that started it all in a way. They named the style, although their focus with releases is a lot more centered on EGL these days. And they're known for their signature black and blue color combination. Let's talk about Atelier Pierrot / Palais Lisse. So Palais Lisse is their sister brand. They're very, very active. They are known for their romantic silhouettes and cuts with flowy material. They're super plus size friendly. A lot of their pieces are like completely shirred with, lots of room. I love their stuff. I'm a huge fan. They have a lot of English content and support. So they have recently opened an English Instagram account and they do English shopping live streams and just like chat hangout live streams every week. It's really fun. They're like Connie's the one that hosts those and Connie's awesome and like super chill, super easy to talk to. So yeah, I recommend tuning in if you're a fan of the brand. Let's talk about Boz. This is Atelier Boz. They're kind of the gold standard for outerwear. They make the famous jacket with the inside like vest thing. They make really, really beautiful stuff. Their pieces are often very tailored, so less blobby and more like very fitted and super clean lines. They make men's and women's styles. They died, I want to say, maybe 2 years ago, but they've been revived as Alpstola. So many of their original Boz designs now have pockets in them if you buy them from Alpstola. So, they died last September. Okay. So yes, like a year ago. That was a dark time. So I owned an original Boz Roland jacket, and then my boobs got too big for it, and so I bought a Roland jacket from Alpstola in their L size, and it has pockets in it. It's got a pocket on each side. It slaps. I know that they revived their cloak. I have an original Boz cloak that does not have pockets. The Alpstola one does. So they have an Instagram account. I think it's just Alpstola. They do sell out stupid fast. Yeah, they will announce their releases. And then I don't know how bloodbathy it is because the Roland jacket I got was part of a pre-order, but anyway, they have an Instagram account, and they have revived many of the like very classic and popular designs, like the cloaks and the coats. I would like them to revive Roland in like velvet or jacquard, but we'll see. I just really want a very, very extra jacket, as you can tell by my very extra blazer that I'm wearing right now. Shiglet. So I don't actually know how to pronounce this brand. I just say Shiglet. It could be anything. I don't know. So this is a creation from the previous designer or a previous designer of Black Peace Now. The way I describe it is like, it's like if Innocent World and Boz had a baby, because it's very like huge Victorian inspiration, which obviously the Victorian period was long and encompassed a large range of styles, but it kind of runs the gamut there. Like if you like classic EGL, Shiglet is probably appealing to you, like in darker colors. And the lines are extremely clean. So they don't often do like lace on the hems. They just have like a clean hem. Oh yeah, Emma in the chat has said Boz is like a Bloodborne cosplay and Shiglet is like historical cosplay. Yeah. Shiglet's like super, super wearable. I wear it all the time. A lot of their stuff has pockets in it. Their stuff is very comfortable. You know, it's almost always at least half shirred. I'm a huge fan. You can buy this through Atelier Pierrot. They carry them in their select shop online. I think you can. They may have a new international website, but I always just buy them through Pierrot because Pierrot is like so easy to shop from, and I'm such a huge fan of the brand. So, they do EGL and EGA pieces. You know, they'll do some things that are the very classic, like cupcake silhouette skirt shape with, you know, like a knee length skirt, right? But they do many longer pieces as well. Um, and they have some like experimental quote unquote pieces like printed blouses, right? Like something that's very normal in normie fashion, but like you basically don't see it in EGL or EGA. Their floral stuff is a trip. Like they use florals in a way that I would not have thought of. It's cool. It's interesting. They do some cool stuff. These are definitely a personal favorite of mine because of how wearable it is. I live in a really rural area, and so if I dress up, I really stick out. And I like how wearable it is, but also there's stuff like washes super easy. So if I'm like walking and something gets muddy, like it's not a big deal. So I mean, many of these pieces are actually quite washable. I just like how easy this is to wear in the area that I live in. Alice and the Pirates. So this is you know, well-known EGL brand, but they also do a ton of EGA stuff. They do men's and women's styles, often featuring like fun pirate nautical themes. Maybe no, if I lean the other way, you might no. I have my son, Captain Chris, in the back. He's hanging out behind me somewhere on my rack. But they have a lot of really fun pieces. I would say Alice and the Pirates is more whimsical and playful than other EGA brands. You know, when they do EGA specific things, it is often a little bit more playful. So if that's your style, this is a great brand to check out. And they also have my son, Captain Chris, as their mascot. I should have had him ready to go for this, but just know he exists out there somewhere, and he's very cute. Abiatage. So they're mostly known for their corsets and accessories. Really, really beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I don't own anything from Abiatage, unfortunately, because the releases that they've had recently have just been like, as much as I love them and love looking at them, they're just not quite like the way I wear fashion these days. But anyway, they have gorgeous stuff. You can also purchase them through Atelier Pierrot's select shop. They usually go for a higher price point. They are, I would say, closer to maybe, I don't know, they're fairly expensive, right? So like trying to think, like one of their blouses usually goes for like significantly more than a blouse from say like Baby or Pirates goes for, which is, you know, fine. I don't own any of their pieces, so I can't tell you if, you know, the markup is correlated with like a quality increase or whatever, but their stuff is really, really beautiful. And I think they have a very distinctive style in the way that they create things and the way that they like style for shoots and stuff like that. Like you can see here in this example, I have like, I don't see a lot of other brands styling things like that. So super fun. Antique Beast. This is a very old brand. I actually don't know when they were started, but they've kind of just been around forever. So they're really known for their bat ear headdresses, which everybody loves. They're so cute. They're comfortable. They're easy to wear. Love them. They, as far as I can tell, just do black. They play with a lot of different kinds of materials and a lot of different fabrics and techniques for their pieces to make them all stand out because they're all black. It's really, really cool to see the way that they do that. Ordering happens when the designer opens up the shop. So oftentimes when you go to their web shop, you'll see this nice like closed sign. So if you sign up for their newsletter, they will email you when they're going to open. So they usually give, I want to say like 48 hours notice before they open. People often do group orders from Antique Beast. Their stuff is really, really beautiful. I've never got anything from them that I was not like, oh my God, this is gorgeous, right? So I'm a huge fan. The bat ear headdress is super fun, and I recommend looking at some of their other stuff too, because they've got some really, really nice stuff. Minoir. This is the sister brand of Miflu, known for their corsets and Era Lolita. So they do, I feel like, so the style that they do, I love it. And if you, and do it wrong. So by people, I don't mean like people that are trying to wear this stuff. I mean like designers like when this style gets knocked off or like attempted to be produced for very cheap, they try to go for this and they do it so wrong and it looks so bad. And this brand is like the kind of the OG here in this space. Their stuff is so beautiful. It can be a little hard to find. Um, I've always assumed that the beast of Antique Beast is when you put on their iconic headdress, says JG Jenna in the chat, which, yeah, I feel like a beast when I wear it because it's so fun. Um, this brand has the most gorgeous pieces. I own nothing from them, and it sucks because their stuff is so, it's just so fun. It's like that like dream that you have when you are like a 15-year-old baby bat and you're like, I want to be spooky, and this is what you think about, and it's just it's so gorgeous. I just love it so much. They're really known for using textured fabrics. Oops, that was cut off there. So like jacquard, velvet, and shantung silk. So gorgeous. They don't have a ton of new releases, but they can be found secondhand. They're not like hugely popular, so you won't see their stuff marked up for like wild prices, but it is a little bit more scarce and hard to find. Um, yeah, their stuff is tricky to find. It's just so beautiful. One day I'll own something from them. One day. Summer Tales. So apparently I didn't put words here, but this is a brand from Finland. They do kind of like these really longer, beautiful printed pieces. Their newest collection was very EGL heavy, and it was, I think it's called the Nostalgia Collection, and it's kind of like an old school inspired collection. It's super cute. They did a, was it like vinyl or like a PVC headdress collection, I think. It was kind of the shit. It was awesome. I do not own anything from that collection, but I love looking at everybody wearing it. It's so cool. Yeah, so go check out Summer Tales. Conoco, so they're an indie brand. We're actually going to be vending some of their stuff at pop-up in December if you want to come buy from them in person. They have a new sister brand, and I can't remember the name of the sister brand, but it's on, if you go to Bay Area K's Instagram, you'll see all the stuff about our vendors, and Conoco is among them. Pushkin, yes, that's right. They have such cool stuff, both this brand and their sister brand, really gorgeous pieces. They really emphasize like construction quality and these like, beautiful materials, and their stuff is it's like whimsical without feeling immature. I don't know how to describe it. Like I feel like I'm moralizing those words a little bit, and I don't mean to. It's just like those are simply like the way, the way I mean to describe their stuff, and it's so beautiful. I love their stuff. Oh, is Summer Tales Dutch? Oh, maybe they are. Oh no, I might be wrong. I'm so sorry, Summer Tales. Moss Badger. So they are the ones that make the famous bad dress. They make a lot of other stuff as well with like a similar material and pockets and similar silhouettes. They have a lot of EGL stuff, but they have a lot of EGA stuff as well. Moss Badger also produces a ton of fun accessories, so different brooches and pins and rosettes. Like I just want like a whole wardrobe of Moss Badger rosettes, honestly. Um, yeah, no, they make amazing stuff. Definitely go check them out. I do declare. So they're not really explicitly like J fashion, but were kind of born of EGL in a way. Like, you know, it's kind of one of those like designer was in EGL and then, you know, got, you know, started doing other stuff. So I do declare a bunch of EGA appropriate pieces. There's a bunch of really gorgeous dresses and hats that are very reminiscent of historical eras gone by. This is a really good example of playing with eras in fashion history inside of EGA that are not strictly like Victorian England. For example, like a lot of the sleeves that she'll do. For example, the famous Bizet dress has the like the puff sleeves where there's like the puffs on, you know, on different parts of the sleeves. Gorgeous stuff. I have a ton of I Do Declare stuff behind me. There's like half of this rack is I Do Declare because her stuff is so comfortable. It like you throw it in the washing machine and it gets clean, and it's oh my god, it's just the best. I basically live in it in the summer because it's all like this linen that breathes and it's gorgeous and I love it. Other brands. So there's tons of other brands that we could talk about. So I thought I'd mention some of them here. There's brands that make a lot of corsets, brands that make accessories, brands that make hats. There's so many. There's a lot of really cool people to shop from, a lot of cool artists doing a lot of cool things. Oops, hang on. So this is step or part 4 again, which should be part 5. Oh, yes. JG Jenna says, turn on notifications on Instagram to get notifications about the I Do Declare releases, which is, yeah, that is a hot tip. I would agree with that because sometimes her stuff goes really fast. So this section is about like just different ways to play with EGA outside of the kind of standard, things you can do, and maybe like some themes you can try when you're gonna wear EGA. So arrow. So something that you can do is like long cage skirts and like utilizing that corsetry that is common in EGA. Sheer materials are really fun to play with arrow style. Um, a theme that I often see people doing is they take garments that remind them of historical undergarments and wear them on the outside, or like don't, wear something over them, for example, and play with like the silhouette and the materials in that way. Titty out. Yeah, titty out. It's a really fun, I don't even know if I call this a sub-style, but like theme that you can play with. There's some really cool examples out there of people doing Aero EGL and EGA, and it's really beautiful. Summer styles, so maybe some like lace or crochet materials. You can play with like a sun hat and sunglasses, maybe like a fancy fan to fan yourself at the picnic. Shoulders out. I'm a big fan of shoulders out, and EGL and EGA. I feel like EGA it's a little bit easier to like get away with. I mean, not that you, I don't know. It's not a crime to have your shoulders out in either of these fashions. Um, yes, a big shady hat, like the sunglasses. You can just recline with your prosecco at the picnic and just kind of be a fancy lass. Sweet. I've never actually seen any. I shouldn't say. I don't know. I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen anyone do like EGA in a sweet way. I'm not saying it hasn't been done. I just haven't seen it yet, and I'd love to see it. So for this, I'm imagining like lighter colors, maybe some classic and sweet motifs. Maybe roses. I apparently didn't put bottoms in this example, so maybe you're just going to be like Pooh Bear a little bit, like crop top and no panties. I don't know. You do what you want. But like light colors and stuff like that. It seems like fun. There's this example here in the middle of the Roland jacket in white. They do make it in white, and so you can totally just wear a pink blouse under it and have fun with it, or any other like a Saks blouse, whatever you want. Have fun with it. Regency, Bridgerton, who I don't know her. I just know Jessica here on the left. So there's this like Regency inspired coordinate that she did, which I love. So she's got these historical boots that she's got on, this longer length skirt, kind of with an empire-ish waisted bodice going on, and the bonnet. Love it, love it, love it. You can totally, this is a really fun silhouette to play with. I would love to see more of this because I love different, a lot of EGA stuff is kind of Victorian, and this is, pre-Victorian. So why not play with this? Luxe. So this is kind of like mixing EGA pieces with like Western luxury, or not even necessarily from the West, but like luxury brand pieces. So for example, here I have this OP from Chiglet, and there's some Gucci sunglasses, a Sac de Jour from Saint Laurent, and there's this booty from Louboutin's fall winter collection from this year. And then I paired it with the beret that I'm actually wearing right now from Alice and the Pirates. Just a little bit of fun, I feel like there's a lot of overlap in certain areas of luxury fashion that are very clean lines and kind of like minimalist in a way, and that pairs super, super well with EGL and EGA. When you mix it with brands like Chiglet, for example, that also have these super clean lines, like they kind of look like they were made for each other, I think, in a way. And if you're looking for secondhand luxury, it can often be found for less than like, or about the same as EGL and EGA. So this is not necessarily like a huge like undertaking to make in terms of cost. Stuff can be found for like very reasonable prices if you go secondhand. Themes and memes. So something that I like to see people do, like here's a picture of Emma here. This is like a nun theme, and that's a really common theme in EGA. You'll often see people doing like a religious theme with big crosses, or playing with like the nun garb. Other themes you can play with. There may be like famous vampires, so maybe Nadja from What We Do in the Shadows, like berries and cream. If you're just a little lad that likes berries and cream, you can do like a big Puritan collar. You know, have fun with if is your favorite cryptid. I don't know, just have fun with it. Casual. So here's an example. This is me in my Roland coat and some like fitted trousers and Louboutins again. These ones I actually got, I think I paid like $160 for these shoes. I had to like take them to the cobbler to get them repaired, but these shoes are like, you can really find secondhand luxury stuff for like really, really cheap. Yeah, so this, there's kind of no rules here. Oh, this outfit, I wore this outfit to my work's holiday party in 2019. So that was like the last like holiday party before the world went a different direction. And yeah, it's super fun. So you can play with some kind of like normie or modern Gothic components, like a fitted trouser or like a stiletto. You can even do like a Doc Marten, right? Like just like throw in some kind of normie or like modern goth pieces, and it looks super fun. This kind of just play with it, like just have fun. It's good stuff. And I want to leave you all some like final thoughts before we do some like Q&A stuff. There are really no hard and fast rules of EGA. You basically just do what you want. Like EGA is a feeling. No one is grading you on how well you match that feeling. It's just clothes. Just have fun with it. Just wear it and enjoy yourself. If you have an EGL wardrobe already, it can be really easy to jump off and experiment with some EGA stuff because of how much overlap there is. And you can kind of like dabble in elements of EGA and not worry about if it's, enough. Like, again, no one's going to be grading you on this. It's just for funsies. It's, it's clothes. Just enjoy it and have fun. Let's see. Oh yeah, and here's some further reading. So there's an FEL Lolita blog or a blog post from ages ago, I suppose, because it's FEL Lolita. There is a piece from Butt Cape, which Butt Cape's entire blog is like awesome. And then there's a post from, I think Jenna wrote this post actually, about the kind of like boy style and aristocrat stuff. Yeah, so let's move into Q&A. The chat's open. I can see the chat. If anyone has any questions, I'm all eyes, I suppose. I'm more than happy to answer questions. Or just comments, like if anyone just has any like. And are you about to ask me where I got my inspiration from? Sorry. Yeah, if no one has any questions, then I can we can either hang out or I don't know, we can do whatever. Thank you, Aria. I love EGA and I want more people to be oh, my favorite EGL brand. Oh, EGA brand. Emma's asking favorite EGA brand. Oh my god, if I'm going by like number of pieces owned. Oh, actually, I don't know. I think I'm a Shiglet girly. Like their stuff is so wearable. It is comfortable. They put pockets in their stuff. Oh, here, you know what? Since we're here, I'll actually just show you some of the pieces I have. Because it's early in the morning and I can just show you stuff that I have. Oh my god, my garment rack. There's like stuff strewn over my garment rack right now that's just kind of like not supposed to be there, but I'm a messy bitch, so. Also, I'm not wearing a Benny Goat, so don't judge me. Let's see. Oh, here is. So this was my first Shiglet piece, actually. This is the Priere. I actually don't remember how it's even spelled. OP. So this is like a T length. I think they made this in a shorter length as well. It's got pockets. It's got these really nice like waist ties. The cut on this is so beautiful and so flattering. It creates this really like nice hourglass silhouette. And it has this little cape. And so you can have your armpits. Oh, there goes my bray. You can have your armpits out and about and just be kind of easy breezy. The most OTT EGA piece, EGL outfit I've done. Honestly, I want to say I don't think I've ever done anything like seriously OTT. But oh, hi Emily, you're here. I want to say, so I submitted a coordinate to Atelier Pierrot's chat stream, and I had put together the coordinate, I think it was like last winter, and it's on my Instagram feed. It was it was Pierrot's like long hustle skirt, and I wore it with a bodice thing from Innocent World and a corset on the outside, and I had this big long black wig and a veiled headdress. It was really fun and pretty, and thank you, Emily. And yeah, that was really fun. I'm actually putting together, I have a similar coordinate. Oh, here, let me just pick my dress form up. Hang on. I wanted to wear that again, so I have a similar coordinate kind of picked out for pop-up shop because I am planning my outfits. I don't know if you can, I don't know how focused this is, but I have this cardigan that Jessica gave me actually from Julie Justine, and it's got these really beautiful like mesh frills along the hem on the inside. I love these sleeves. I think, is this a leg of mutton sleeve? I don't remember, but it's got the like puff cap sleeve with the like longer sleeve continuing. It's got these two ties on the front, which I love. And then here, let me take this off actually, and then I will show you this OP underneath. So the OP underneath is from Pierrot, and I don't actually know the name of this, but I bought this off of a model at a fashion show. I was like, hey, I'm buying that dress. And it's got these like really nice cap sleeves, and it's all like this nice lace. And can we lift up my dress form maybe if this works? The skirt is it is not high-low. So there's layers to the skirt. So one of the layers is like high-low, so you can see these like ruffles underneath, and it's like super pretty. And the back is just all of that same lace. And I love this because it's so easy to layer. It really works in the summer. And I don't get sweaty because I get really sweaty in the summer and it's gross. And this is just like, it feels very comfortable in the summer. What would you do if you wanted to try to be as OTT as you could, including stuff that you don't own? It's like a dream coordinate. Oh man, that is a good question. So I love this. Something I love doing with like OTT stuff with EGA is like ruffles and layers. So I'd probably wear, oh my God, I just love that Pierrot skirt so much. It's, you can like pull up the layers and it bustles and it's so beautiful. And I'd probably go for something like that. Or I'd go the other direction and do something like really minimalist in a way, but just like with really a bunch of like luxury pieces. I don't know. Let me think. Maybe a big ass hat. I feel like a bunch of layers with like a bustly skirt and like a huge ass hat. That's probably the vibe. And then maybe an overbust steel boned corset. So I get that like really tight silhouette because that's what I love. I love the like really nipped in waist with like the big skirt. And then like a little choker or something. I don't know. That just sounds like fun to me. I like shoulders out, easy breezy, or maybe a big ass cape. Like if I could get like a big, long, like that coordinate. So like the really big, hustly skirt, a overbust corset, maybe some kind of long curled hairstyle, and like a big like mesh cape or something, or like lace cape. Like that's probably what I would do. I do not own a long mesh cape. I own a cape sleeved harness that goes to about the skirt length of an EGL skirt, but not anything like full length or like floor length. Sorry, catching up on chat. Yeah, I love capes and cloaks. Oh, here, let me show you my capes and cloaks that I have. So unfortunately, I don't actually own any capes or cloaks that are like full length yet. Sorry, this blazer I'm wearing is like quite restrictive. Apparently, I haven't worn it in like a hot minute. I've forgotten how restrictive it is with arm motions. Okay, I'm gonna put you back over here. Okay. Okay, so first I have this cloak from Boz. This is one of the original Boz cloaks. I did not know how big the hood on it was going to be, so it's like, it's huge. Like, it's a really huge hood. It is lined with red. They also make a version of it that's lined with blue. This one does not have pockets, but it does have like a little armhole, so you can put your arms out. This one's very clean lines. It's very fashion. I wore it with a mermaid OP a couple months ago, or the last month, and it looked very like fashion week. It was really fun because of all the like, you know, clean tailoring and all that. This is made with like a suiting material. It's not particularly warm, but that's fine. Right? If you're wearing a cloak, which, you know, we'll talk about layering in the cold panel later. So this is actually very wearable for like mild conditions or even warm conditions if you just want a little, to be a little extra. Okay, this is a cloak from Victorian Maiden. This one is like a heavy velveteen. It is so gorgeous. I love velveteen. It's got a really cute little ribbon bow right here. It closes with these two buttons. So the Boz one I was just showing closes with like ties. And this one closes with these two little buttons. The hood is actually detachable on this. So there's some buttons you can see around the inside. Let me see if I can show this off a little better. There we go. And you can take the hood off, and underneath the hood, there is this like really cute Peter Pan collar. Sorry, I'm trying to show it. There we go. You can kind of see the shape there. There's nothing trimming the collar. It's just a really nice clean line. It is lined with this really beautiful pink material, which I love. And the hood is also lined with that material, but it has this lace overlay, which I think is really fun. And then the hood has this lace trim on the inside as well. And this material is super heavy. It's really beautiful. I have not. Oh, there's an inside pocket. I just noticed there's an inside pocket. I'm so excited. Okay. This actually does come up secondhand relatively often if anyone wants something like this. I see it on Closet Child fairly often. I also see it on Mercari sometimes. This one I got from Closet Child. Yeah. They make this one in a couple different colors. I think this one's called Noble Ribbon. So if you look up on Lollyberry, like Noble Ribbon cloak or something, they make like a lace variety and like a suiting variety, and this one's the velveteen variety. Oops. Okay, so this one is, I don't know, I have yet to coordinate this one in an EGA way. This is a knit cape from Pirates. So it's got this really cute, where is the other one? Really cute like ties right here, and it's got these little like fun balls at the end, which I love. Little ribbon ties, and the knit is so thick and it's really nice. Got this kind of like cable knit-ish pattern going on. It's got a hood. It's just really cozy. I just really like it because sometimes I just want to be a blob and be cozy. It took me forever to find this one because the website had this available for a super long time in red. I'm like, are they ever going to restock the black? And they never did. And I just found this on I found this on Mercari actually, like a couple years ago. And I love it very much. Oh, and the hood has a big pom-pom on it, which I think is super fun. What time is it? 55. Okay. That's all my cloaks. I could show the rest of my outerwear if there's time in the cold panel too. I feel like that would be relevant for the cold panel. The cold panel is at 1:30 Eastern, or so it's almost noon here in Eastern time, and I think the cold panel's in an hour and a half, but I don't quite remember. Yeah, does anybody have any like final questions or anything? Or 10:30 Pacific. Thank you, Emma. Yeah, so that's gonna be the cold panel. I live in Vermont now, and it gets very cold here. So I'm gonna be talking about like the best way to layer, how to stay warm, and kind of like how to do practical, how to like actually wear EGL or EGA in a practical way when it's really fucking cold, or even if it's not cold and you just get cold easy, or whatever. Right? We're just gonna be talking about cold, and maybe by that point my beret will have a more firm attachment to my head. We'll see. Yeah, the outdoor panel is gonna be really fun. So I am such a coat fiend, and that's like one of my favorite parts about living in Vermont now is I get to wear coats, and I love it so much. I haven't actually taken out my like branded coats yet because it's like still like uncomfortably warm here. It should be snowing, and it's like 70 degrees today, which is a little messed up. Oh, good question. So Communion asks, do you need extra strong or special hangers for heavy garments? Um, that's a great question. So I standardized on the like velvet hangers from Target. I mean, you can really get these hangers anywhere, but they're like velvet hangers. They're pretty strong. They're very narrow. So they're not necessarily going to support like a really heavy material. Um, I mean, they'll stay that make, yeah, anyway. So the velveteen cloak I have is actually, oh, do you see my lizard? Yeah, there he is. Oh, yeah, he's totally in view. He's hanging out. That's Cinnamon. Um, the velveteen cloak I have is on the hanger it came with, and it is a here. I'll grab the hanger real quick. Because normally I take things off and I put them on my regular velvet hangers, but this one is on. So there's this plastic hanger. It's got the Victorian Maiden logo on it, and then it's got some like foam here so it doesn't slip off. So underneath is just like hard plastic, and then it's got this foam on it so it doesn't slip off, but it's really wide, so you can see how wide it is, and that really like gives the cloak some support. And this is among my heavier garments. This might actually be my heaviest piece. Oh, Cinnamon has departed. He's gone to oh, he's staring at me right now. He's in like the nearest corner of his tank, and he's like, what are you doing? Yeah, I think that's everything. So stay around for the next panel, and I'll be hanging out and chat, and then I'll see y'all again at 10:30 Pacific for the cold panel. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one, and enjoy the remainder of your day.